all the disadvantages of holding a physical certificate has been explained in all our others. So we are hoping that the market will flow with us and comply and see the advantages of actually having an electronic, as it were, certificate and not a physical certificate. So we are hoping that the period will be enough, but I'm sure the regulator is very flexible. If my DG knows that there is still a lot of physical certificates there that we haven't gotten put of some people to dematerialize, probably the period might be extended, but it's left for management.
All right, thank you very much, madam. Looks like a very busy Tuesday for all of you, and thanks for briefing us right now ahead of that general media briefing that the SEC is holding. We really appreciate your time.
Thank you very much.
And perhaps we'll hear from you when the next quarterly meeting takes place in about 2 months from now.
Hopefully. Thank you very much.
We appreciate your time. Anastasia Brahma, the Head of Legal and Deputy Director at the Securities and Exchange Commission. We'll talk about the business of rice. The central bank is going after those who are owing customs duties. The customs also on the streets, sealing up everyone who's got warehouses and not paying outstanding debts. Emefiele Godwin, the head of the central bank, says he is not comfortable spending $2.4 billion to import rice and put that on our dinner table. So let's talk about that after the break. Okay, so yesterday, Nigeria's Customs Service sealed the facilities of Olam, one of Nigeria's major rice importers, as well as Stallion Group, claiming both companies owed several billions of naira in unpaid custom duties for rice imported, and as well as exceeding their quota. Meanwhile, the Central Bank of Nigeria, almost at the same time, started giving data as to how much Nigeria spends on rice imports for the first 5 months of the year: 474 billion naira. That's about 2.5 billion US dollars out of our currency reserves made from oil. Godwin Emefiele also says, well, the huge bill on rice imports is hurting local farmers who want to plant rice, and that the central bank will not anytime soon will take off his foot on the ban that's been placed on sourcing foreign exchange from the markets to import rice. Okay, quite a bit of a story here. Let's bring in Aki Ogumbi, who is Executive Director at Elephant Group, and he's a member of the Rice Importers and Millers Association. Thank you very much, sir. We appreciate that.
Thank you very much.
Thanks for coming. It looks like a very difficult time for you guys, isn't it?
Yeah, well...
Central Bank on the left hand and the customs on the other. How do you escape?
Well, I'll say it's a general thing. It's a worldwide problem. I mean, the economic problem, economic challenges are everywhere in the world today. It's not restricted to Nigeria. I mean, even in Europe, in America, you have the same economic problem. So, I mean, you can't isolate Nigeria.
Yes, we can. Looking at the newspaper headlines, the central bank says 474 billion spent on rice imports in 41 months, Are you comfortable with that figure?
Well, talking about comfort, it's not a matter of comfort now, but it's a matter of, is that the ideal situation that we should have? I mean...
What's your answer? Yes or no?
With that figure, well, I won't want to say whether I'm comfortable or not comfortable. I'm looking more at the situation wherein you talk of you being able to feed yourself. You've been having food self-sufficiency. That's what Nigeria desires. That's what we deserve. That's what we should have. We should be able to feed ourselves.
$2.8 billion looks like a lot of money, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It is. And I mean, in these days of dwindling earnings of foreign exchange, definitely there is need for government to do something about it. And I don't think the approach of CBN should be seen in a negative light. It's a very positive position.
What about the customs? Let's keep it from the top, then we'll come back.
Well, the customs, I must tell you, the customs equally have their own challenges. Smuggling is a big issue. And it needs to really be, tackled headlong. I'll tell you, sometime about 2 years back, my association, the Rice Importers and Millers Association, realized the enormity of the challenges the customs were having. And we had to support them with equipment. We had to buy 150 pickup vans to support them.
The customs?
Because
to police the borders?
To police the borders.
To prevent rice smuggling?
Of course, because smuggling became has always been a very serious issue. It's a serious issue everywhere in the world. The only thing you can do is to minimize it. I'm not too sure if we can eradicate it, especially in Africa here. But then we have to look more at minimizing it to the barest possible.
So what makes rice smuggling attractive?
Well, rice smuggling is attractive. It's a function of demand and supply. Rice is in high demand in Nigeria. It has become Nigeria's major staple food. Everybody wants to eat rice. And we have a shortfall. We are not producing the kind of quantity that we should be able to, that we are consuming. So we need to bridge the shortfall with importation. That is actually the problem.
Well, the customs, we'll come to that in the second part of the discussion. But again, the customs says you guys are owing, your members are owing billions of naira. Are you owing or not?
Well, the issue of owing is a business issue. You see, I would say that I've not come here to defend any company from whether they are owing or not. These are our members. These are investors equally in the economy. They are the ones that are also, backward integrating. You know, we all have challenges.
And what does that mean? What does backward integrating mean?
Backward integrating, the government in the past 3-4 years have come into, championing the need for us to start producing and cultivating rice locally instead of depending on importation from, other world producers. And this is actually the route to go.
You have your Association of Importers and Millers, right?
Yes.
Now, there's also Association of Rice Growers, isn't it?
Yes.
Thank you. So, one side, your association's taking foreign exchange, importing rice. The other guys, on the other hand, are cultivating lands within Nigeria, hectares of land to plant rice.
Yes.
Now, how do you balance the two? The government, central bank, through media reports, says we want more of the cultivation rather than imports. Which one do you favor?
I think I agree with the federal government. I agree with the Central Bank of Nigeria on this position. And I must tell you that quite a number of our members have actually keyed into this program. Even some of this...
Which of the program?
The program of backward integration.
Which is...
Cultivation and milling. Really what we need to do in Nigeria to solve the problem basically is we need to improve on the cultivation. When we cultivate more, then we now talk about the milling. The milling, we need to ramp up milling, and that is very critical. If farmers are saying, okay, we have enough for us to mill, I don't believe we even have enough for us to mill as at today. But whatever quantity we have today, we need to ramp up the milling program. We need to improve on milling. The basic technology that we have in milling initially, is not sufficient. We need to actually put more, better technology into milling of